Today, we're hopping behind the stream with one of the most dominant hidden talents, according to MRAGs, from the world of Call of Duty and collegiate gaming. Ethan Bates, more commonly known in the gaming world as Ebatez, is a 23-year-old streamer and business marketing major from Grand Canyon University. He's also the MVP of the inaugural Barstool College Gaming Championship and title holder of the first BGL title. We're excited to speak today to Ebatez, who is fresh off of a clutch finish in last night's Barstool Gaming Championship to advance into the Nasty Nine. Ethan, you're also fresh off of a haircut. Thanks for meeting with us today. How's it going, boss?
Very true. I appreciate you recognizing that. Appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much. Things are going good, just hanging out. But yeah, just another day. Appreciate you guys having me.
Another day being a legend in the Verdance. Ebatez, what's your gaming journey been to this point? Where'd you start off with? What games did you first start getting serious into? And what games are you playing right now? Is it just Call of Duty, or is there any other games you're trying to get into?
Yeah, so I'll try to make this like as a short summary of kind of like everything. But back when I was, I believe around 7 or 8, my parents bought me and my brothers our first Xbox 360. And that was actually because my cousins from North Carolina came out and they showed us what Call of Duty 4 was. And they told my parents, you guys got to get it for them, whatever. And so me and my brother shared one account. It was called Killer Bates. So my last name's Bates. So our gamer tag as brothers was Killer Bates. And so we all played Call of Duty 4. And just kind of from there, I played pretty much every single Call of Duty series up until I believe Advanced Warfare. I took the jetpacking ones off. I just started getting into some other computer games like Dota 2 and League of Legends. And then kind of when I first started getting like my competitive feel was in Modern Warfare 3. I was really good at quickscoping. And so I started doing a lot of that stuff and like just clipping and, whatever, and other clan matches, whatever, 4-on-4 quickscoping. And so kind of just got into that. And then got back into Black Ops 3 a little bit with Search and Destroy. And up until this point, I've just been kind of pretty much just playing Call of Duty and played a lot of Fortnite. That was kind of when I first got my first step into making money in tournaments and stuff, and just really tried competing in CMG tournaments or whatever it was. And then I always knew I was better than like my typical friend group. Like there's always that one friend in the friend group that's better than the other player. And that was just kind of how I felt when I was playing with them. And so I always just try to push myself to be better. And just a lot of time, I was just a college student, just kind of basically just doing school and playing games. And up until this point, I'm just playing Warzone. I've kind of dabbled into a little bit of Dota 2 again, just to kind of get my mind off Warzone sometimes. I'm just hanging out with my brother or anything. But yeah, for the most part right now, it's just Warzone. Awesome. Yeah, that's great to know. And, I know you play outside of just in front of the screen. I know you used to play hockey, a few other sports. So, if there's that kid who's skating circles around you and scoring 10 goals a game, that obviously, he's doing something a little bit different than you. Was there a specific moment you had playing Modern Warfare 3, or a specific game you can call back where you're like, man, I'm next level at this. I'm pretty good. This is something I should stick to. Yeah, it's funny you say that. So I think earlier, like I got most of my confidence was in Black Ops 3. We started playing just a lot of game battles matches, and we ended up beating like this team on game battles that was like 200-0 and something. And I was just playing with my brothers and stuff, and I had like 15 kills. And like at that point I was like, maybe we just got lucky. But I mean, I always knew I was a confident player, especially in video games and stuff. And like, it's just something that I've just picked up, and I spent a lot of time on it. And trust me, my parents, I'm sure for a lot of gamers, like parents are just like, spending too much time, I wish you spent this much time at school or in volleyball or hockey or whatever, whatever it was. But I would say that. And then also just once I started making money off of tournaments in Fortnite, that was like the point for me. I was like, okay, like this doesn't have to be necessarily a job for me, but I mean, it's fun. Like I hop on to play anyways, I might as well try and make some money out of it. And it's kind of what I started doing. And this last summer was big for Warzone and just tournaments and stuff, and just started getting in and as many as I could and just kept winning and winning. And so kind of just took that just as I could. And I wasn't working at the time just because of COVID and everything, and just really put my time into it and just started to make some extra cash. So that was pretty much in my recent times was like this past summer. And I had really no plans of playing the college Barstool tournament, but my my university Barstool account hit me up and they were like, hey, we want you, we need like another player. We heard you're good, whatever. And that was honestly like the starting of like, my confidence, I guess, at least for Warzone. Cause I think when I entered the Warzone tournament for the college gaming championship, the first time around, I was like a 2.6 and now I'm around like a 3.3. So just progressively saw myself getting better as a player, just watching other people stream and stuff. And just, yeah, it's just been really fun, especially these past 6 months, just to see myself grow. And especially like my confidence level, like it's kind of just goes like further than gaming. Like it just kind of made me like realize like if you want something, you're just going to go after it and like get it. So,
there's a quote that's made fun of, and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, if you watch that show. And it's, if I'm doing well in the game, I'm doing well in life.
Yep.
And I can tell you what, after watching you perform over the last 6 months, you are doing well in the game and you're getting great at it as well. And as if you are already great, you're definitely improving each week we tune in. And so the next question I want to ask is, so you're a good gamer, you go to college and you choose Grand Canyon University, you study business marketing. What's it like managing both school and keeping up, staying fresh on your gaming, and while also managing being a student? And what was your setup when you were at school? How many hours do you think you were playing during, not during class, but during semester?
Yeah. So I think something that's like underrated for sure, especially for gamers, is like I hear a lot of kids saying like, I don't want to go to college because I'm going to pursue gaming. And it's like, for me, like that wasn't the case. I felt that I could perfectly balance school and gaming. Like there's only so much time you really like, you want to keep a healthy balance of just social life and everything. You don't want to put too much time into gaming. I've seen a lot of people do that and it really mentally affects them. I have friends that are 16 years old or whatever, and they're playing games all the time. And it's just, you're kind of just mentally exhausting yourself. So for me, like I made my priorities school and work and hanging out with friends. And then when gaming was there, it was there. I mean, and of course, like I would sometimes, not go out to a party or something just to play video games, which is totally fine. But for me, yeah, I found it honestly quite easy to just balance, because I just kind of had that mindset that college isn't, it's not going to be here forever. It's not like, not necessarily my skill level or gaming is going to be here forever as well. But I just you kind of have to have that balance. You got to really just sit yourself down and just balance it out. And I was honestly able to do that pretty well. I've got a lot of friends and we still stay in contact. I'm not, closet nerd. I don't just play games. Keep balancing a social life, work life, everything, just trying to stay busy.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And so you're part of the generation, or the age group you're part of the age group that's graduated at a really interesting time in society. First off, congrats on graduating recently. Can't wait to see what you're going to do with your degree or whatever you do from that. That's a great moment to celebrate, and especially during a pandemic. But how did COVID impact your gaming? And also, how did that affect your schooling and kind of how you turned into your streaming? And I know before you didn't have a set schedule, just because you were switching it around based off your classes, your study schedule, all that. So what's it like now post graduation and a year or so into COVID?
Yeah, looking back at it, so I had an interesting decision to make when I came home last year during March, just at the beginning of the pandemic, and kind of just figured I'd be back next semester, just class as normal, whatever. And kind of as the summer grew, I was just playing more Warzone, hanging out with family, just enjoying California life, just honestly, just really loving living at home. And I kind of made a decision that I liked where I was taking streaming and gaming and stuff. And this was about in, I believe, July, and school started in August. And I just made the decision. I talked to my parents about it. I just said, hey, like, I just want to stay home this semester from school. I'll save some money, from room and board or whatever. And I want to just pursue this gaming thing. And it kind of just worked out. So I was able to just, obviously school was my number one priority, and then working out and going to the gym and stuff. And I had a lot of time to just also play games because I was just at home, and we were in the middle of a pandemic. So the pandemic had a lot of play in it. I don't think I would be playing as much video games I'm sure for a lot of people as if this thing wasn't a thing. So it had a lot to do with it. And, it's bittersweet for sure. Obviously, this has been a terrible year for a lot of people, but I think for me, I just kind of was able to push myself to something that I've always been passionate about, which is video games, and especially competitive video games. And I'm just happy I did it. And here we're here, and I'm not necessarily like, this isn't like where I want to be in my gaming career. I'm obviously still pursuing, just trying to get better and become bigger. But yeah, no, I mean, just extremely grateful for everything, every opportunity that I've had, especially this past year.
Yeah, that's extremely courageous and well said. One thing I'd like to expand on is kind of what was the process for telling your parents there? I know personally, I started out after graduating. I went to law school and then realized it wasn't for me, and kind of one of the biggest parts of getting out of that or switching was realizing that I was going to have that big conversation with my parents. So for anyone else thinking about having that, or anyone else in your shoes, kind of what was the process like for telling your parents, it's not like it's just a hobby. This is Warzone, and specific, a game you've devoted, I think last I checked, about 38 days of your life to. Yeah. So did they support it? And really, what is it that inspires you to devote that much time to the game for them to see, this isn't just a hobby for him. This is something he really does enjoy and is something where he can take it to the next level. Yeah. Looking back at it, I mean, it's still not something that my parents are like crazy about. Obviously, they want me to have my other passions, which is exactly what I'm kind of doing. I'm working right now 40 hours a week and just still trying to balance games and work. So where do you work? Cause I know today is one of your days off. Currently I'm working at a BMW dealership out here in Charlotte. So I lived in California and I moved out here after I graduated. So I'm just working at a BMW dealership as just kind of like a tech specialist, just product research and stuff like that. So I'm just doing that for them. So yeah, to go back kind of on that decision of just like talking to my parents, they were actually super encouraging and backed my idea of just kind of staying at home. I was only doing one more semester until I graduated. So for them, just the just being reasonable, I guess, was kind of what it came down to. I could spend all this money to get my stuff out to Arizona and just drive out there or figure out a flight. And who knows if semester's going to be canceled. It was just a bunch of what ifs. And I really am not, I didn't feel comfortable with that. So I just didn't want to fully commit to the idea of going to on-ground campus school with a bunch of what ifs of, might school close and how am I going to get home and what does this entail or whatever, or am I going to get sick? It was just a lot of what ifs. And at the time I had my 94-year-old grandpa who was living with us at home, and we didn't know how much longer he would be around. So it was just it just felt right to just stay at home and finish the semester online. I was still able to keep in contact with my college friends, but that decision opened a lot more opportunities than I really expected. And so it's just, awesome. I guess it's just, just a thing. You just kind of go with the flow and sometimes things work out. Awesome. And yeah. I know your grandfather's passed away, so we give our thoughts and prayers to you and them. I appreciate that. Was he part of your inspiration in gaming, or kind of part of that reason to stay home you mentioned? But I guess who else was it? Who else is it who inspires your gaming journey? I know you mentioned your brother as well there. Yeah, my brother's always pushed me, and his friends, they know, because I play with them all the time and I've been playing with them for the past 10 years. They've always known that I've had gaming as an extra edge on them. They've been better at basketball than me, and I'm better at gaming than them. And they've always just pushed me because they know how good I am. And it's encouraging to have, people that back you up on that stuff. It sounds cliche, but a lot of times when you're just doing the stuff by yourself, you just don't have that confidence to just keep pushing. You have one bad day and you're like, I just don't think this is for me. But a lot of them, they text me, they're like, dude, just keep going. You gotta, upload more videos or whatever. Dude, just keep going. You got it. They see a lot more in myself than I see in myself. So definitely my brother. And my grandpa he had a lot to do with my decision to stay home. Cause again, family was good, and, we were all doing pretty good when I was staying at home for the summer. And so that had a lot of the decision too. I was just happy with where I was in life. And a lot of people, they don't see the whole gaming thing as it's kind of something that I'm passionate about. And so just kind of had to convince them, I guess, this is just something I want to pursue, and I'll be home, and, it'll be nice. And I was just able to spend a lot more time with family. Awesome. Yeah, that's great. Being with your family is really what's important, and being happy is what's most important. So I'm glad you figured out a path for a way to combine all of that and continue to succeed. And, one way you do succeed is obviously, compared to other sports, is a big way in esports is what's your tech, what's your setup. Can you walk us through what a guy who just graduated college, move across the country away from his parents, what's your setup like? what was the must-haves for your streaming room? What was your must-haves when you moved into your first apartment? And kind of how's that evolved over time?
Yeah, so currently right now, I actually moved in with my cousin, and he has a house out here. So this is actually his setup behind me. And what I just did, I just bought a corner desk on Amazon. I think it was like $70, and I have just my 2 monitors. There's one here that's just horizontal, it's the gaming monitor, and then there's one right in front of me, it's horizontal, and that's just kind of more for chat and whatever. I do have my PC, and my PC, I've had it for about 1.5 years now, and it's just something I've just been kind of slowly upgrading and stuff, get a new graphics card every like a few months ago, and then now I just got a new CPU. So just something I kind of slowly upgrade, but not much. This isn't necessarily my living space, so I don't kind of like put lights on the wall or anything. I just kind of respect the area, but definitely when I get my own apartment pretty soon here, I'll have some more customization in the room. But yeah, it's just a really simple setup, just keyboard, mouse, 2 monitors, and a computer.
For sure. Well, I'm sure you're on track soon to having a nice Ebatez neon logo behind yourself. Yep. So we'll get that, some blue lights, all that added. So we flash forward now to coming off of a few tournaments. You've participated in Veterans in Verdansk. You've participated in both college gaming championships. You've claimed the first BGL tournament title for KFC Barstool's team. And through that, we find this, a player card about you. Before that, we hadn't known too much about Ebatez. Ebatez, go ahead and tell us this story about being tackled on SportsCenter by the middle-aged man going for a home run ball.
So I actually have this saved. It's funny that you guys brought that up. I have this saved on my Instagram, like bookmarks or something. And one day me and my buddy Kyle, we went to an Arizona Diamondbacks game, and my university had like student discount tickets. So we were able to just get tickets for $5 to go to a game. And we're sitting there, and like we're kind of at the outfield, and I see a home run ball coming at me, and it hits me. Like I was like kind of on my phone, but it hit me like right here, and it bounced off. And so I'm tackling, wrestling for it. And I'll have to get you guys the video, but it's super funny. This guy comes in and just completely pushes me, trying to go for the ball for his son. And
anytime you get a chance to get a Jake Lamb home run ball, you're going to move some bodies around to try and get it. It's our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing Cool Play of the game. There's still man down. They still haven't got it. Goodness. Finally, a guy in a giant hat got it. Looked like somebody going for the goal line on the last play of the Super Bowl.
Like I just dives for the ball, and I'm bleeding after. Like it was just like this whole thing. Like it's on. I have this video on SportsCenter. It's so funny, but that was they were asking me for some fun facts, and that was just one of them. It was just a funny incident. I just happened to be on SportsCenter, just getting absolutely exposed.
I'm sure. I can't wait to see that video. Yeah. I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad you survived it, but what a story to tell moving forward. So you've now played in a few different Barstool tournaments, a couple efuse related tournaments. Can you talk about how you first got involved in the College Gaming Championship, and then how you paired up with your teammates?
Yeah, so I want to start off by saying the Barstool guys, Smitty, MRags, all the behind the scenes, TJ, they've been just super kind with me, super just outgoing. They've always reached out to me, if I ever need anything, even just on personal things, and they're just great people. They always look out for, especially at least for me that I've noticed, they've just always looked out for me, whether it be anything, support, anything I needed, they would just, reach out. And so they've always been just really, really supportive people. And I appreciate that. And I actually let them know all the time. As far as the college gaming tournament, my university posted, it was like a link or something, or someone reached out to me through the Lopes Barstool account, and I just got signed up or whatever. And I remember Smitty posted something about playing with him or something on a Tuesday, during they do this thing every Tuesday where it's like recruiting members to the common crew or something, whatever. So I played in with them, and I was super nervous. Like Smitty was just like a funny dude, and MRags, and I just had no idea who they were. And so I was super nervous with them, but they obviously, like, again, they don't have egos. They're not bad people. They're super outgoing. And so they just kind of were just having fun and just kind of took me in. And it was just a nice experience. They're just really good people. It's nice to have genuine people who like to have fun. And, the Barstool guys are awesome. So they've been really good for me.
Well, you've been really good in their tournaments as well. So congrats on, we're not going to get too far into it, but you were the runner-up, kind of the backup champion for the first college gaming championship. You and Team KFC Barstool took home the dub in the BGL. And in this edition of the College Gaming Championship, March Madness style, your team, Grand Canyon University, is headed into the Nasty Nine. So go ahead and walk us through, what's your strategy when it comes to a squad kill race style, like the College Gaming Championship?
Yeah.
Do you guys go for the most kills? Do you go for the most bounties? Sometimes I see you separate, sometimes I see you stay together. Can you just walk us through, your strategy for both the time it starts? Does it change as you see scores come in? And what's your practice throughout the week leading up to a match?
So a lot of it, we kind of just go based off momentum. I think the key thing for us is landing Superstore, clearing it out, getting a loadout, and from there just grabbing bounties, because that is important for revenue. You just want to keep your money up, and you want to keep UAVs and self revives or whatever and buybacks. So the first thing we do is always grab a bounty and just push it as a team. If we are able to kill that team, we kind of decide hey, Ebatez can maybe go solo, we're good here. Or we just we push, there's a team over here, we'll just push together. It's just kind of based off momentum. We'll pop UAVs. If there's only one team in the area, well, usually just push it. There's two, we'll usually just kind of split a little bit, but it's all just based off momentum. I mean, really, it just kind of comes down to game time decisions. I think the most important thing is just grabbing bounties and stuff and just keeping your money up, because sometimes people, they die, they lose their gulag, and you just need to buy them back quick. So a lot of it is just try not to waste time and just trying to keep that momentum up.
Awesome. So I know you're not reverse boosting as you lead up to the Nasty Nine. You're probably competing. What's practice like? What's preparation look like for you and your team? How are you guys trying to get your mind right? What are some steps you're going to take to make sure you can notch that dub? You don't want any question mark next to it, as Ohio State once said, one not done. You've moved on, survive and advance, but it's time to bring home the championship this time around. What's the way you're going to get that done?
So I was talking to my teammates about it. I personally don't have that much time to kind of just play with them, which sucks because I really want to, and I want to get that practice in. So I told them you two just need to play together, start playing duos, trios, just start getting the communication up, just play every game as if it was a tournament, just trying to keep the intensity up, and just over this next week, whatever you can, whenever you can, just play. And I just think that the most reps you get, it's gonna eventually, you'll just be getting your shot warm and everything. So for us, I think this past week we just kind of lacked confidence as far as just again, we were just trying to survive. So next week it's kind of a different mentality. There's no surviving. The first team place needs to put up 200 points, and so that's just gonna be our mentality going into it. The goal is 45 kills, a win every game. So we're gonna be going for that.
Wow. We're wishing you luck, and we hope the Nasty Nine goes well for you, and we hope Grand Canyon stays competitive and has 3 great rounds to put up there.
Thank you.
But what are your goals for a career in the gaming industry? I know you mentioned right now you're working full-time, you graduated college, so maybe gaming isn't the end-all be-all, but where do you see yourself continuing to game over the next few years? And how does that compare to when you first started gaming?
So oddly enough, I actually worked for Activision as an online tournament specialist back in 2017 to 2018, I believe it was. And I was just basically just kind of a referee, you could say, for tournaments and stuff, just making sure that there were matches advanced or people were cheating, whatever. You kind of make the calls on that. So that's something I really love.
Not Army.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And so I've always thought about getting into the gaming industry, because my mom always tells me, well, you're so good at games, why don't you just, work for them? Why don't you get a marketing job or something? I was it's just I haven't gotten there yet. I'm just still trying to kind of figure it out right now. As far as streaming, just continue to do what I'm doing and just try and take that to the next level. But you never know what kind of opportunities come up or what happens. So definitely getting into the gaming industry is something I've always been interested in, and you never know, something might come up and I might just take advantage of it. But yeah, so as of right now, I'm not too sure. I just think, just continue to play Warzone as long as it's a game, and if I'm good at it and I like it, then I'll just continue to stream it. But if it does come to an end where I don't like the game anymore, I'm not going to force myself to play it. For sure. So we talked about your stream. Give us kind of behind the stream reason behind the beach ball. I love the beach ball. You've got it as a stream asset. You've got it all over your Twitch and
and social media stuff. Let us know what it's about.
Yeah. So I came in a small little beach town in California called Ventura, California. And I was just a beach volleyball player, indoor court, whatever. I just love volleyball. And the beach ball was kind of something that I was always thinking about. I always saw other streams, like, what are they doing well? And, Nick Merckx, he's got the Trojan helmet, and Huskers has the wolf or whatever. And so there's people have their signature logo, right? And so some for me, I was like, what's simple? Like I was thinking about a surfboard or whatever, like a starfish, I don't even know. And I was like, let's just do a beach ball. Like, it's kind of like volleyball and beach, just kind of in the mix. And it just kind of like, not necessarily represents me, but it just kind of felt like comfortable. And I just thought that it was a good fit for me. So
we saw the epic selfie of you and Vets and Verdance champion Aiden. Who is it that you look up to in the industry, and why? Can you give us the name of a couple of streamers you watch, or who is it you try to base your game off of?
Yeah, so early in my competitive kind of going back was Black Ops 3. That's when I first started watching Nick Merckx, and a lot of the things that I saw him doing was just focusing on positioning and your aim. A lot of players, they try to do too much with their movement or whatever, and they're flying everywhere. And it's just a lot of his position is just positioning and aim. If you could just outplay your positioning by an opponent, like, you're going to kill them most of the time. And so he has really kind of given me that confidence. I used to take strategies from him all the time in Search and Destroy. I used to just copy everything he did, because I was like, he's winning a lot and like he's doing a lot of good things. And that's something that I really was like, I'm not like the most mechanically gifted player, but I know I have a good shot. So I was like, I'm just going to take with that. And the last player I would say is Super Evan. He's another big Warzone pro, and he's just someone I've been following for about 3 years now. I watched him on Fortnite, and he has just a really good shot and really good positioning. Everybody will talk about it. He's one of the best position players in Warzone. And he doesn't do anything fancy, which is what I love. Me and him, we don't run auto tac sprint. We both have low senses. We both just, it's just more so just positioning and aim. So I'd say Super Evan's probably another big player that I really base my game off and just really look up to. I've known him since he was averaging, 15 viewers on Twitch, and now he's averaging about 1,000. So it's just been cool to kind of see his story and just see him grow.
Well, speaking of that, Ebatez, we've seen your numbers grow. We've watched your stream eclipse 1,000 subs. We've watched you grow over your time throughout the Barstool Gaming Championships. And we wanted to wish you the best of luck as you and your team head into the Nasty Nine. And we wanted to thank you for being a great efuse user. We wanted to let everybody know Ebatez on efuse is now verified. So go ahead and check him out and feel free to follow along his gaming journey. But ladies and gentlemen, as for D and Traits behind this stream, this is Ebatez. We are out.